thanks to Rinnai, Relax with Rinnai, we've been telling you about this now for a long time. A young man called Tim Robinson, a police officer from Wyndham Vale, has got the ability to choose a ball, and if you look out on the MCG now, and by the way...
How many pills?
You can check all of this out at triplem.com.au, streaming now this vision. In fact, you can see the balls right now on that exact streaming vision. Out of the 100 balls, our man Tim's got to pick one of them, and if it is the $1 million ball, he goes down to the goal square, city end of the MCG. Wayne Carey, the greatest footballer the game has ever seen, better than Chief. He's going to then kick the ball from about the 50 metres out, and if Tim Robinson hangs onto it, as in marks it, and if it is the $1 million ball, Gary, that's what he takes home thanks to Rinnai.
Well, let's hope it is, because that would be life-changing. And then
It'd be brilliant.
The Chief said if he dropped it'd be funny. That's just
You said that,
listen,
Wolf. Don't try
what we have got
shove it off on
is a lot of Triple M listeners are obviously streaming this on the internet.
triplem.com.au.
And there's a lot of comment around the duck and what sort of rig Nicky's rig's in. A lot of reference made to his cannons, the big pythons and the chest. But my favourite was a bloke here, I've lost it, Mario, who said...
something about a friend?
Friends don't let friends miss leg day in the gym. So he's inferring that the duck gets in and does a lot of beach work, Chief, but doesn't spend much time on the chicken legs. And the rain starts to pour.
So the plot thickens.
Oh, Robbo.
He definitely won't be going for it in the midst.
No,
Plot
just
thickens.
hug that into his
I
girth.
tell you what, he is relying on a good kick from the duck, because if he's got to make ground, is he allowed to ignore it and call for another kick if it's a little bit off target?
Someone said you've got to mark it in the square. Is that what the rule is, Big Nose?
Well, we'll get down to the Duke. He's going to run it for us. Not right now, but soon. We've got to wait, of course, for West Coast to
Duke's too busy
exit the ground.
signing autographs.
So when we get to the Duke...
He signed one, Duck signed 800.
He will give us the full rundown, of course, but you check it out, triplem.com.au. And while we wait, as the rain really starts to come down, poor old Timmy Robinson, he's going to be nervous. One of the things, I say this regularly, Purple, and we had an example of it just recently when David Neitz came into the footy show. We used to meet quite regularly up with on air with the great gentleman Jim Steins. I always love it when we get to speak to a Melbourne footballer that was better than Garry. And you can't say that. You can't say that very often. You can't say it very often, Purple.
So you put David Neitz ahead of Garry Lane?
No question.
Oh,
so then,
come on.
when it happens, Purple...
This is ridiculous.
When it happens, it's good because he can't argue his case, because then he's having a go at one of his own teammates, and he would never do that. So that's good. Robbie Flower we had on this station, and we said, love speaking to you, Robbie, because we love speaking to people who are better players than Garry. So that's why, with the Duck, we love it. Because they're only, sadly for me, and my distaste for the man, there are only 3 or 4 footballers that you can say were better than Chief. But Wayne Carey's one of them.
I've openly said he's my number one, Jim.
Sucked in, Chief. I'm just saying that I get to say that whenever he's involved, and I enjoy saying it. That's all.
And guess what? He used to curl 105 Ks.
And guess what,
that
Chief?
is bench press.
On any given summer Saturday afternoon, we can go down the local park and find 8 batsmen better than Jim. So that's not going to be that hard either.
I doubt that.
You have done your top 5 AFL players.
Yeah,
are you able to reveal it or not? Or is that a little bit
off the top of my head? I can't remember. I always had the Duck at 1. Always had the Duck at 1. I think I'd plug
Me too.
It was a standout number 1 the night you did it for us.
He's the best I've ever seen, because as a player he didn't have a weakness. In the air, on the ground, speed, strength, left foot, right foot, kick goals under pressure, pack marks. He was the best.
Social media's gone
and better
mad.
bloke than you, Chief. Now let's get down to Luke
your
Darcy.
comparisons, Jim, they've gone crazy.
What about?
They think you're on something.
Isn't it? So what are you saying?
I'm not saying that. The pack have come.
Let's get down to Luke Darcy. Just a scene setter for you, please, Duke.
Jim, I want to just inform the Triple M family that there isn't the idyllic conditions here at the moment. We've got some sideways rain coming in. I'm standing alongside the man we'll call Robbo from now on, Timmy Robinson. And Robbo, he's from Ballarat, where there used to a bit of rain, Robbo, but I'm just detecting you're shivering your boots a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, it's not from the cold. It's more from, a bit of nervousness, just waiting for the kick to come in.
The King's standing by, boys. Yep. He's got the 3/4 legs on.
Duke, that's just not on.
We'll get a word from the King very shortly, because he's a little nervous himself. He's gone and purchased the new wheels. Yep. He's been limbering up and just working out what he does, whether he slots one through post high, because as he said, that's what I did here on a regular basis. So I might just slip into my normal mode, which is to drill one through, because the rain's an issue.
Duke, if the duck happens to spray one just a touch, which I wouldn't expect him to, does Robbo have to dart off after it? That's our concern up here.
Robbo has got some genuine speed out of the gate. He said speed's not an issue for him, so just put it anywhere near the vicinity of Robbo and you handle the rest. Is that right?
Yeah, so pretty quick off the first 10 metres, and then it slows down dramatically from there.
I love it. All right, I've got Duck in the Bushnells. I'm not of the opinion that he's been to the shop.
I didn't think it was Duck. I thought it was one of the Triple M girls.
He's been to Georgie Lawler and he said, George, get me some boots.
He's got the cans on, Gaz. You can hear what he's saying.
I know that. He would know that I'm just being honest. Duck, have you got us, Duck?
Yes, boys.
What is going on with the leggings? Did you get the wrong size?
There was a wardrobe malfunction.
Oh.
Boys, I'm telling you, the zipper broke.
Oh, what zipper?
The zipper down the bottom that zips up down the bottom of your tights. So I had to roll them up.
Hey, now, Duck, there's a bit of pressure, Duck, on you as well, mate, because this man has the potential to have a life-changing event happen right tonight, and you need to put a decent kick in. You don't want to kick a wobbler, mate.
No, you're dead right. I'll just be trying to put it. I've got to put it inside this goal square, boys. That's where he's got to mark it, so it's got to at least go into there. But I've never come onto the MCG and had one kick before, so I'll probably just have a couple while I'm out here.
That's gold. All right, we'll let you get ready, Duck. Just remind listeners they can watch the mark and hear the commentary, of course, on their mobiles, triplem.com.au, live streaming now, of course, and also your laptops and things at home. Yes.
What's Duke going to do?
He's commentating it, Duke.
Oh, he's going to call it.
He's calling it, so he's down there to handle those proceedings.
Right. Are you buying the zipper
Not
story?
For a second. Not for 1 second am I buying that story. He said to Georgie, give me something that's going to make a statement out on the G. And George said, look, I don't think you'll wear these 3/4 things, because he said, give them to me. I can pull them off. And that is exactly what he's done.
Actually,
I tell you what, he does look like he could play tomorrow, Jim.
He does. He has not trained off. That is true. All right.